is just a disclaimer. Whatever we presented or the information basically do not regard any specific investment objective or financial situation. All right. All right. So first of all, importantly is why do we need to buy the this City FoodNEX itself or the food factory? Is because if you already have existing property, residential property, if you to buy your second property at this point of time, there will be an additional buyer stamp duty. So there are some this investor or buyers that they are not willing to pay this ABSD as well. That's where they are moving on to the commercial properties in Singapore. So very luckily that ERA, we have been appointed as one of the marketing agencies for this City Food Factory. All right, I mean the City FoodNEX food factory itself. That will be later on. I'll share with you the area. Where is it? It's actually in Mandai itself, where you are able to save on the ABSD, and of course there are much advantages that you are able to get if you were to buy this property itself. Now, if you're a foreigner tuning in right now, or you have any clients that is having a intention to buy a property in Singapore, and yet they do not want to pay the hefty of additional buyer stamp duty of 30%, feel free to reach out to the ERA agents that invited you, or feel free to reach out to your clients, so that they are able to purchase this property without any payment of the additional buyer stamp duty. All right, and of course the next question of course is whether this is GST payable. Yes, for the property itself is GST payable, but not to worry if you are buying this property and you don't have any this commercial office or company to purchase this property itself. We have the specialized people that will help you to able to set up an entity, and in return you are able to claim back the GST. All right, if you were to purchase. So this is not considered one of the charges will be incurred into your investment at your point of view. And of course I want to touch on is the limited supply. If you were to see that firstly is industrial. If you were to follow the news since 2012, the industrial is in terms of freehold that is coming out is very less. All right, and this property itself is actually a freehold property now. And of course if you talk about food factory, is much more limited in terms of supply, because you need a very stringent license of the SFA, which is Singapore Food Agency, to approve for it to be a food itself, a qualified food factory, so that you are able to convert to a food factory. Okay. And of course, there is because of the shortage of supply, there will be a potential capital appreciation where you are able to embark on, and of course you are able to reap from the investment that you are putting in. Okay, so this is the reason of the food factory. There's a lot of be it end user or investor that they are really keen into buying this property itself. Now, lastly, the most important thing. If you do know that we've gone through the recession, I mean, not recession, sorry, the COVID itself, and you do know that the only recession proof is the food. All right, but the problem right now is there's since budget 2019, the government actually has increased the foreign worker quota. So that's where a lot of people, if they want to engage a foreign worker itself, they need to have a lot of this Singaporeans to work in the company before they are able to hire just one foreign worker. Which if you were to go around right now into restaurants, all this, you will see that mostly the waiter, waitresses are very limited. So that is one thing that a lot of restaurants owners, and of course the F&B owners, they are switching into having a food factory themselves, where they are able to process their food, and after that they will distribute out into their restaurants itself. Okay, so I want to touch on also is the other thing is because of the Singapore population, that if you were to see in terms, this is our white paper that was published in 2018 itself. If you were to see 2020, we need to hit a minimum of 5.8 million to 6 million. And of course, 2030, our government has set a benchmark of reaching out minimally to 6.5 million people. So this is in return is saying that the population is increasing, where people need to eat. So this is where a sector right now that you are able to embark on before the increase on the population, where there are a lot of F&B will be set up to serve all these people, and this is one of the factor that you are able to look it as a long-term goal before the 2030 mark of 6.5 million. All right. So just now, as I mentioned, if you miss out, Channel News Asia actually has came out on 2019, 18 February, that there's a foreign worker quota in the service sector. All right. So it will be cut by 2021. So that was 2 years ago itself. So right now, if you were to see, basically we really have for F&B owners, if you have anybody that is F&B owners, your friends or whatever, you understand what I'm saying. All right, basically it's really difficult to engage a foreign worker at this point of time, and that's where Food Factory is one of the factors of this, be it the tenants or be it the operators, the owners, where they are shifting their perspective into Food Factory rather than having a cooking place in their restaurants where we take up space. Secondly, is that they are not able to get so many staff or chef in their business itself. All right. So this is one of the news that you are able to extract out. All right. So you can see since 2019, the research company, the department, the Colliers itself, the research company, basically have put, what it says is that Food Factory likely to see a robust growth. All right. And because of all this thing, there's a demand for Food Factory expected to stay healthy. All right. So why? Because Singapore is a food haven. Every tourist come, you even your friends or anybody that is staying overseas, or you will understand that Singapore is a food haven. So wherever we are in Asia Pacific, a lot of people are basically coming into our food. Now, secondly, is because of the right now, if you were to see there's a Food Panda that's open up and Grab, all this and that. So a lot of people basically are right now going into food deliveries to home. All right, even for our kids or whatsoever. They really, right now, the youngsters, they don't really want to go out itself. So that's where this is also one of the factor that is bringing up the demand for Food Factory. And you can see that in terms of region, on the licensed Food Factory on the bottom in the box, we don't really have quite a fair bit of Food Factory. All right, so you can see the number of licensed Food Factory, 507 on the north side. West side is 455, the east is 262, and central 239 and 131. But if you were to see, I'd just like to point out, for example, if we talk on the north, for JTC Food Hub at Senoko, all this, and you are not able to purchase. All right, among all, you are not able to purchase. You can only rent from JTC itself. Okay, and if in the west, you were to see Jurong Food Hub, CWT Co-Hub, this one you are not able to purchase as well. So that is where, although they are Food Factory, but the problem is mostly all owned by government, and you are only able to lease from them. Whereas right now you are able to own a piece of this Food Factory, which is you are able to add into your collection. All right, if you are investor itself, you are veteran investor, you are able to add it into your portfolio so that you have a diversified portfolio itself. All right, other than your residential properties or your commercial properties. All right, so the other thing, as I mentioned just now earlier on, if you were to remember, I say right now, after the COVID, actually a lot of people are going on to Grab, Food Panda, food deliveries to home. All right, and there's also, after the COVID period, a lot of entrepreneurs that started off during the circuit breaker. If you were to see on Instagrams, on online, there are home bakers that starts to bake cakes and they start to sell. All right, but the problem is with this home baker is that their house is, the capacity of electricity is not enough to do a big scale. All right, from the time they start from small scale till their orders increases, the house provision of electricity and the appliances are not able to cater to their big scale production. So a lot of all this small time online entrepreneur that they are doing, they are all right now flooding into what we call the cloud kitchen. Now, cloud kitchen, what is it? It's also referred as ghost kitchen or a virtual kitchen. that purely basically what it says is that they most of these small business F&B or the bakeries, all this, they will do all their business online. So whatever you can see is on their online platform, be it on the website, be it on the Instagram. That's where you start to order, and when they take order, this is where the kitchen will receive order and they start to prepare. All right. So there's a lot of right now we call the F&B this startup business. They are right now flooding into the cloud kitchen, because if you're a food kitchen, usually is super big, but a cloud kitchen sizes will be very small and therefore is affordable for them, which I will share later on my slides. So I just want you to take note of this thing. If you have never heard before a cloud kitchen, do check it out on this cloud kitchen itself. Right now it's the in thing. So before any ones or any more products that are coming out, I mean, in terms of Food Factory, be the pioneer to embark as an investor to buy, and so that you are able to lease to all these operators, and the rental yield is super fantastic. All right, because of the small size, the rental yield can go as high as about 7 to 8%. All right, so therefore all this kitchen, they will prepare the menu, and they will what it does is that all this delivery like Foodpanda, Grab, all will go to this cloud kitchen and deliver the products to your doorstep. All right, so that's where they don't need to open a restaurant. And a lot of people don't want to open a restaurant at this point of time because of high rental and because of difficult to get worker. So that's the reason for this type of operation. They only need 2 to 3 operators to be able to function like online restaurants. All right, so this is one of the studies as shown. Why buy a food factory and why convert it into a cloud kitchen? All right, you can see that since COVID, the delivery sales has actually increased 200%. All right, and it's increasing year on year. So you can see on this that it has already changed the way consumer dine and shop. Now, previously, when you ask before COVID, if you would ask us to do online delivery orders, we will feel that it's very hassle and there's no, I'd rather pay money to go to a restaurant to eat, right? But after the COVID itself, I can tell you that the changes or the behavior of people, of the diners, has already changed. You can get any food from anywhere when you have any cravings. All right, just have to click onto the online platform. That's where you are able to get whatever you want, be it ice cream to the very product of Indian food, Chinese food, or whatsoever. So the dynamics and the whole behavior of F&B diners has really changed. So that's the reason we have to emphasize onto if the dynamics has changed and the behavior has changed, where should I go into to invest? Where is the upcoming sector that you are able to be involved in? All right, doesn't matter that you are not a cook or a chef. All right, of course, everybody wants to be in F&B business because it's thriving at the moment. We may not be a chef, but we are part of the chain. So as long as you are part of the chain, you will earn the profits from there. All right, so as I mentioned, first of all, as population is increasing, therefore a lot of people there's a demand for food. Now, if you don't know how to cook, don't have to learn how to cook and pay money to be a chef itself. Just be in a part of the chain where it's growing. All right, so that you can able to see that the sales is growing. Definitely there will be a demand. In return, the rental or the capital appreciation will be there as well. So let's look at this customer preference. What are their age group in terms from 2015 to 2019? So you can see that there's an increasing trend of food deliveries. Okay, so this is the global consumer demand for convenient prepared items surging. So how often do you order delivery or pick up prepared food? So you can see since 2015, which is the blue one, till the 2019, the age group for 15 years old to 29 has increased tremendously year on year. All right, and you will see at the age of 30 to 44, it has also increased. So this sector is the one that increased the most. Of course, definitely because this sector are the one that are earning money. The 15 to 29 one probably is still using their parents' money itself, or they just started work. So the main bulk of the growth you can see is at the age of 30 to 44. So now if you are between this range, ask yourself seriously, do you order food online? Be it Papa Cha, be it drinks or whatsoever. I mean, do you order food online very regularly from the time 2 years or 3 years ago before the pandemic has started? Our answer is yes. Now, even if you look at the age of 45 to 59, which is those slightly older age people, it's also an increasing trend that they are able to use the online platform to order food. All right. Now, of course, lastly, we look at 60 plus. It's also increasing trend because of educated people. They know how to use platform. They are able to understand. That's where a lot of people are going on to online ordering of food. All right. So this segment, the potential definitely is there. I mean, if you want to embark on an investment, or be it right now you are a end user itself, you are renting a place, it's best right now you are able to buy your own place, because the price is definitely going up. All right, so what I mean by the risk is reduced. So if you were to see, I do a comparison of a brick and mortar restaurant. Now imagine today I'm a restaurant, I'm going to set up a restaurant, and minimally I need about 1,000 square feet because I need to house a kitchen inside my restaurant itself. In terms of the upfront payment, I will need probably about 300,000. Why? Because there's this renovation cost, there's this rental, there's this security deposit. I add it all up, basically, I need an upfront payment of approximately about 300,000. Now, if you were to rent a brick and mortar restaurant, minimally the leasing period is 3 to 6 years. Also, it's a long-term commitment. All right, and the time taken to open, you will see usually 2 months because of renovation. You need time, all this and that, and with the material cost right now increasing, so that's where it will increase in your starting operation as well. Now, employers needed if I open a restaurant 6 to 8, be it part-time or full-time. And of course, if right now I'm launching new concept, it's very risky because I don't know whether when I put in this 300,000, the public or the diners will be able to accept what I'm launching. So it's a huge risk. All right. So this will definitely greatly affect clientele and branding. So if it's not doing well, so this is on brick and mortar. Whereas if you were to versus the right now the food factory. So actually one of the food factory is called Select. All right. So you can see that the rental of the space is only 116 square feet. And the upfront payment or whatsoever for this cloud kitchen is probably only 10 over 1,000 because the renovation already done by the owners itself. Exhaust whatsoever, the appliances is already all prepared. Now the leasing period can be short term. Excuse me. All right, so you don't have to be 3 to 6 years because it's about 1 to 2 years. All right, and the time taken to open very fast, 1 week operation. You just bring whatever your cutleries or whatsoever and your material, all your products, you are able to start preparing the food. Okay, and this is very low risk to able to test your market whether it's feasible or not, and it can be done easily or digitally without affecting any of affecting the clientele itself. So this is where you can see that F&B startup owners right now, they are more prone to try new things. All right, so you can see on the online itself, there are more and more bakers, there are more and more people exploring even fine dining food doing online as well. So that's where this is the increased trend of this sector of F&B. All right. So I just want to show you one of the group. There are a few groups that are doing the cloud kitchen, but I'm just going to show you one of the select group they have operation in Tampines, Toa Payoh, all this and that. So the floor, wall tiles, everything is prepared. The exhaust is also prepared already. All right, electrical, all this are prepared. So today, if you are an investor and you want to operate as a cloud kitchen, you need to prepare all this for the this cloud kitchen operator. All right, so this is where the additional cost you need to pump in. But even you pump in this cost, the yield is still fantastic. All right, so of course, if you want to know in more detail, later on you can reach out to your ERA agents or whoever that invited you, and we will share in depth with you on how you are able to. We have contractors to help you to do up all this segmentize of little small F&B area. Okay, of course, we want to look at the supply in the market as well for food factory. So this is a tabulate of the north, south, east, west, central in terms of what are the units you are able to purchase and what are the sizes. All right, if you to see at the central itself, like Wayang, 第一家 Food Building, Aljunied Industrial Estate, this is land-based. In central to the south, there's nothing for you to purchase. All this property that I mentioned, you are not able to purchase. They are owned by a single owner. Okay, then we move to the bottom, which is the east side. Probably you are able to purchase the enterprise one and the Stack Link. All right, but you see the units are limited. There's only 48 units in enterprise one, and Stack Link is only 57 units. All right, both of these are able to ramp up articulated container itself. Then, of course, if you want to move to the northeast, you will follow me on the northeast itself. There's this Harper Point, which is in Tai Seng. All right, the usable size is about 1,700 square feet, but the problem right now is also, you can see, is very limited. There's only 24 units. So it's very limited even for you to purchase. Now, if we will move further down to the north, we will have quite a fair bit of units that you're able to select from. All right, we have the Food Exchange, Food Axis, and of course the this Woodlands Loop itself. All right, so this is, but the Food Axis and the Woodlands are by JTC. You can only rent. The only thing you are able to purchase is actually the Food Exchange. Okay, and if we are to move downwards, you can see the Sinoco connection, and of course, you will see the City Food question mark. That's ours. Okay, so that's where we want to show you the difference. All right, we have 110 units for purchase, and of course, if we were to move downwards, below us will be Mandai Food Link. Okay, then of course we have the Mandai Food Fab, which is 47 units. Then we go to the west. Isn't much things you are able to purchase as well, except for the City Food Chain and Food Concept, which already been launched. So right. So if you were to see, compare on the Tenure, the one that are able to purchase that is freehold is ours. So our development is actually quite of the, I mean, in terms of the northwest, we are to the north and northwest. We are the one very limited. There is freehold. First is of course our City FoodNEX. Then the next will be the Mandai Food Fab, which is they have about 47 units. All right, then we have the Food Vision. So you can see freehold is getting lesser and lesser that you are able to purchase. All right, mostly government, what they release were all 30 years right now or 20 years. So to own a freehold food factory is a collector item, as I always mention to my clients. It's something to able to collect for your portfolio. It's also something that you are able to collect for your legacy. Because it's perpetually freehold, so you're even able to leave for your next generation to come in the event they want to do any food or whatsoever. All right. And you will see that the trend of food factory, I just want to highlight to you. I'll just take up one quickly, which is Food Exchange, just now as I mentioned. This is actually the tenure is 60 years one from 2000. And even a leasehold property, the price you can see that is going on the uptrend. But in which point is the one that is earning a lot of money. Actually, if you were to see very clearly, is when the time it launched. Also, when the time it launched, you were to purchase the uptrend. Basically, when it starts to build and nearing to the completion, you can see that the price went up. 2014 will be the will be the point you can see is really the highest peak itself. So the people that actually are the first time owner of this food factory are the ones that are benefiting from it. So if you have not gotten any food factory or any industrial, or you're considering to getting any industrial into your portfolio, seriously do consider this because there isn't much project in the market itself for you to buy for food factory with a very, very good specs, which I will share on the specs later as well. All right. So for investor or our colleagues down here who first time do industrial or have never sold and bought any industrial or never sold any industrial before, there's a seller stamp duty. Although there's no ABSD, additional buyer stamp duty, but there's a seller stamp duty if you buy industrial. All right, it's a 3-year seller stamp duty since 12 January 2013. So if you will sell the property on the first year, you need to incur a 15% SSD. If you sell within the second year, then there will be a 10%. Of course, third year will be 5%, and fourth year will be nil. All right. So when will the calculation be? Will be the calculation will start on the day of the exercise of your sales and purchase agreement, or exactly the same as our residential procedure. Okay. So for industrial property, as I mentioned, for this product, City FoodNEX, there will be a GST of 8% that is charged on the purchase price. But of course, this will be reimbursed if you have a company that is GST registered. Now, if you are, as I mentioned, again, I just want to remind, if today you don't have any company and you are just a personal and just want to get it, we are able to assist you to form up a company. And from there, we will be able to get our corporate secretary to also help you to see how we are able to claim back the GST for you as well. All right. If you need to really get more in-depth detail, just reach out to us and we will go through with you. All right. So there are two types of people that need to register GST, just for your information sake, just in case if you ask why must register the GST. All right. First is anybody that is, if you were to see the next 4 quarters, this taxable turnover is not more than 1 million, then you do not have to register this GST itself. But if you have a company that is already running and you have already crossed more than 1 million in turnover taxable income, you will need to automatically register a GST. Now, of course, when we are starting out, there is no turnover. When we're starting a company, there's no turnover. And we are able, what we see, if you were to see on the bottom, we can do a voluntary registration of GST. All right. So I mentioned, I would just want to touch again. So right now, if you want to buy this City Food Factory and you set up a company, it's definitely, it don't have this more than 1 million turnover taxable income. All right. So automatically, you don't need to compulsory register this company. But of course, if you want to claim back the 8%, then we need to do a voluntary registration of the company to be GST registered, so that whatever you paid for the GST, you are able to claim back within 3 to 6 months time. Okay, so this is just to give you a bit of the idea itself. Now, I want to touch on to the selling point in terms of this City FoodNEX. So I talk about some of the things is the freehold, and of course the limited supply, and of course the good investment rental yield. Right now I want to talk about our unique selling point of this development, City FoodNEX. First is that ours is a ramp up. All right, although there are plenty of food factory out there, but some do not have ramp up. And if you do not have ramp up, the first thing is that in the morning when the collection for the delivery, all the lorries will be all stuck on the first floor. So if you are investor, every lorries are stuck on the first floor, tenant will be frustrated. That's where it will be difficult to rent out the unit. All right. So ramp up itself means the lorry is able to go on into your unit to pick up the goods and deliver out. Now, second, we have a super high ceiling. So high ceiling, why is it good? Food factory can also be turned into a cold room. So if you're high ceiling, they are able to build high shelvings, all this to store the food itself. All right. If you do know right now, Singapore government is also very, very into food, because why? Malaysia stopped our chicken, right? So we don't grow our own crops, right? So we are always at the mercy of our neighboring countries sponsoring us food. So that's where government right now is very into food, be it on your vertical. If you were to hear vertical farming, right now they are doing vertical farming, or be it right now they are encouraging a lot of cold room to stock up the whatever foods they have, so that, at the point of time, if anybody were to threaten not to give us food, we are able to at least hold for a longer period of time. So right now, if you were to see in the market, food, cold room is also one of the sector that is growing. So doesn't mean that you buy this food factory is purely processing food. We can also lease to people that are doing frozen food, all right, for them to do the cold room itself. Now, our developer has also designed to a wide driveway so that you are able to do a fast in, fast out delivery. Because for food, everything is about time. All right, even for the buffet right now, you order at home, by what time the food must be discarded. You are not able to keep the food as well. So for them, it's also the same thing fast now in terms of timing. Now, second thing, the unique selling point, as just now I mentioned, very limited freehold development for food factory. So you are buying a piece of collection that is freehold, perpetually the value will be there. If you were to buy anything that is leasehold itself, as long as the lease gets shorter and shorter, first is because you are not able to get the full loan of 20 to 25 years. Because as the lease gets shorter, you are not able to get a full tenure years. That's where the monthly installment will be high, and that's where the price will start to drop for those that are 20, 30 years. Okay, and for freehold development is always perpetually there. So that's where it's one of the advantage as well. And most of our design are able to cater to our clients' requirement. Be it whatever food they are doing, we are able to cater to them. Okay, and our location is superb, and we have plenty of lorry lot, and it's not part of the strata as well. And most importantly, food, because they need very high power supply, and we provide orders to individual units. Okay, and the layout is also able to set up your cloud kitchen setting. So eventually, if you are investor, then that's where we talk about the potential high yield. Okay, so one of the plus point that I super love it is we are accessible by a 40-footer container on ground floor. All right, if you were to compare some other products, some is only able to allow 20-footer container. All right, but don't be misleading. There are agents out there that mislead you, telling you that it's a 40-footer container. But what they mean is it's 20-footer container. A lot of agents out there are misleading, saying that your food factory is able to deliver 20-footer container, but actually it's not 20 container, it's 20-footer lorry. So some of the agents are not well versed in terms of the lorry classification, and they misrepresent wrongly. So you really have to, as an investor right now, or agents that are marketing to your clients, you have to be very specific and not to misrepresent. All right, because a 20-footer container and a 20-footer lorry is a huge difference. Okay, and container, if you do not know, is if you go to PSA, you see all these container. These are 20-footer container. All right. What they mean by 20-footer lorry is if you see the NTUC one, the NTUC type, the big car, or the Sheng one, those are the lorries. All right, it's very different, because if you say wrongly, the container, the turnabout or whatsoever, those they are mentioned as lorry, but they use as container. There's no room for the container to do their maneuvering. All right, so ours is 40-footer container, super huge one. That's the maximum. All right, and our level 2 and level 4 are accessible by 20-footer container trucks that are able to ramp up. And of course, we have dual key units for you to easy sublet. If today your clients or yourself that are doing you don't need such a big space, you are able to create whatever you need and rent out whatever is balanced, right? Because we have 18 units of this dual key, and our ground floor mezzanine units are with 2 toilets. Only the ground floor have the mezzanine. All right, and of course we have 4 different type of layout. We got 1 canteen for sale, and mezzanine is only 5 units that is available for you to buy. And level 2 onwards, we also have selected dual key units. All right, our development is using LPG gas and not city gas. All right, that's a huge difference, because LPG gas is what they say, I mean, for client is cheaper and is better. All right, and our KED is key exhaust duct. It's not situated in front of the unit. We have one competitor that is selling over there, but the problem is the KED is situated in front of the unit. Ours is outside of the unit. So what is the difference between inside and outside? First is smell, second is the heat. All right, so this is where it's very important. So right now I want to touch on the location itself. You will see the location, we are right smack at the Woodlands Road. So whether in, out, we are very fast. From Mandai estate, once you turn left out, we are very fast going into the Woodlands Road itself. All right, so the name basically is at Mandai estate. All right, so we will have a show flat that will be there on site, but we do not know when is the time for the show flat viewing yet. Probably developer was telling us that after Chinese New Year. Okay, so we will keep you updated. If you are keen to visit the show flat, just reach out to us, and we will basically have a mock-up unit over there. So if you see in Mandai itself, what is so good about it? you can see it's a whole huge future development of eco district. All right, and of course, you can see in terms of the red line is the MRT itself, and I don't want to touch more of all this, but I want to more of the highlight. You can see that right now, Gain City, all this are all shifting to over this side. So there's a lot of what we talk about the food. We are surrounded all by food itself and accessible in and out. And if you want to hire worker over there, it's very, very much easier because why? Usually the operator will hire Malaysian and it's near to Johor itself. So that's where they are very easily to able to hire Malaysian people. All right. So this place in terms is very, very advantage. And we will see we have an area shot. This will be the actual site. It will be demolished from the old building and it will be a rectangular shape. Just right beside the empty land will be building the show flat itself. All right. So this is another view of the area view. All right. Just want to show you also in terms of the road itself is huge for a 40-footer container. And there isn't any illegal parking along the road to prevent the container from moving in and out. So don't have to worry. I mean, all this is to show you. Okay. So just to give you a little brief, this will be a 10-story multi-user food factory that is in Mandai Estate. The land category is under B2. And of course, our tenure, as I mentioned, is freehold. The site area, as you can see, is quite huge. It's 80,288 square feet itself. All right. And our GFA is approximately about 200,000. Okay. This one, expected TOP will be looking at September 2026. Now, if you are end user yourself or your clients is right now looking for a place, try not to be scared by the date because developer, due to COVID, the legal advice is to put longer, so 2026. But I mean, on verbally, the developer has told us by 2024, and they will probably be completed as itself. So, all right. So if you are clients that looking at probably a 1 year range, 1+ year or 2 year range, please recommend them to this development because based on our developers' track records, they are able to build that fast. Okay, so you can see that we are a fully ramped up factory all the way to the 10th story, and the number of units is 109 units of food factory plus 1 canteen. Car lots basically is right now we haven't finalized yet, approximately about 41 to 50, and of course, we have 1 handicap lots and bicycle lots as well. So at the this 20-footer container lots, we have total 9. 9 lots for the 7.5mm rigid frame. Of course, we got 2 lots for the 40-footer container itself. All right, then the goods sleeve, we have 1 goods sleeve, actually it's 2 lah. So the other one is named as service sleeve. All are 3 ton. Then passenger leave, we have 2. All right, so this is just some of the electrical power orders that we were highlighting. So you can see that our level 1, our height is approximately about 7.475 to about 8.175 because there's a gradually up. Later I will show you. All right, so not all the units are standard height for the level 1. Level 2 and 4 is 6.65 meter itself, and 5 and 9 is 5.95. And of course, level 10 is 7.525. But if you see the loading itself, our live load is 20 kilonewton, 15, 10, 12.5. Or this is definitely enough for big machinery to come in. And our electrical power ampere, you can see is from 100 amp from 5th to 9th floor to 200 amp on our ground floor. But if your client, any of your client feels that your is not enough, do reach out to us. We still have spare ampere to give, but it's a first come first serve. Of course, we need to see how to provide or increase the ampere itself till that time. Okay, so whatever questions you have or they need any more things or additional stuff, just reach out to us. All right, we are able to cater to your needs. Okay, so this is just a very quick driveway width. You can see that it's approximately about 11 to 12 meter for the first story. Okay, and the loading unloading area is about 12 meter depth. So second floor, we approximately about 9 meter driveway width. So definitely is enough for the 20-footer container to ramp up. And of course, the loading unloading area in front of the unit is approximately about 8.35 meter in terms of depth itself. And of course, our 5th to 10th floor, which is our 7.5 meter rigid frame, our driveway is about 7 meter. Okay, and the depth is about 6 meter itself. Now, refuse chute is own self-dedicated one. And of course, the KED, as I mentioned, is also your own dedicated one. You do not have to share. So this is just a schematic diagram to show you how it's actually going to be. So you can see on the first floor, the green color one is the canteen. So this is just to show you the sizes. The sizes actually range from approximately about 1,700 square feet onwards. All right, approximately average about that. Okay, so you can see that the those with the D1, you will see 0510 on top. These are the dual key one with the bracket DDD. These are the dual keys. Okay, later I'll show you with the floor plan itself. And for the 0411, 0311, and 0211, these are the dual key. So for the factory with mezzanine, you can see we have, as I mentioned, is 5 units from 0103 to 0109. Okay, the rest are typical units from the 5th to 9th floor. So this is the first story floor plan. So if you were to see where the access area, the entrance, and of course then after that you will ramp up. The units in front, all these are able to cater a 40-footer container. So your unit, you're able to load your container inside and you take your own time to unload your goods. All right, but of course the lorry head got to go. You're only keeping the container. So all the units are able to accommodate 40-footer container. Of course, if you are on the top one units itself, the 40-footer container cannot ramp up, right? This is where we have the 240-footer container for your lorry from Malaysia to come in and unload the goods, and you take a cargo lift up. So this is the cargo lift just beside the 40-footer container. Okay, so there will be only one exit out. The other exit on the right-hand side, basically over here, is only for fire access engine. Okay, so let me just zoom inside. This will be the 5 units mezzanine, as I mentioned. Now, what we developer do, if you are a veteran in industrial, you should know. Usually the mezzanine staircase will be inside the unit. But developer make it so seamless that they place the staircase outside the unit. So that in the event you need additional storage to do your decking on your void area, you can flush it nicely. Okay, and the mezzanine is also outside the unit, just above your car porch area. All right, so you can see this 5 unit is super nice. All right, so this is the typical second floor on top. And you can see from 020109, these are the typical units. But I want to highlight on the 0211, which I talk about dual key. This has a dual key unit itself, all right, where you are able to cater to two clients. You are able to lease out to 2 clients. Okay, and most of the units over here are able to cater to 20-footer container. So you can see in terms of the dimension, right now for going out of the ramp is 12 meter, straight ramp is 7.5, and of course at the turning radius will be 12 meter again. So definitely no issue of 20-footer container doing their turnabout or their loading itself. Okay, so the 0211 is also a dual key unit itself. All the units come with a roller shutter and also this entrance as well on the side. Okay, so typical 3rd floor is the same, and 4th floor is the same. So 2nd to 4th floor will be able to access by 20-footer container. Now, if you were to go up to the 5th floor itself, this will be the typical unit of the 7.5 meter rigid frame. And you can see that the dual key have 2 shutter door, and of course they have 2 entrance for the 0512. So in the event, if you don't need so big, you can cut half. You can use one half, and you can lease out the other half. Okay, so we have very limited units of dual key, approximately about 18 of them. All right, and of course the typical one, you are very hard for you to do a dual key or to lease out subdivide. But all these typical one, you are able to create a cloud kitchen, as I mentioned earlier on, and you are able to cut into smaller to lease out to the F&B operator. All right, so 5th floor, 6th floor, all these are the same, all right, till the 7th floor. All right, they're all the same, and of course the 8th floor, 9th floor, and 10th floor. All right, the difference between 10th floor is the ceiling height. All right, is higher. So usually, who will get the 10th floor? Just to give you a bit of idea, coffee maker, and of course the ice cream maker, cold room. All this usually they will take the higher floor itself. Okay. So this is where they need air ventilation because they can't on the aircon. So higher for them basically will be more able to suction of very good ventilation itself. Okay, so this is just the floor plans, and of course some of the general questions, all this and that. No, if you are new or into this, we have a separate lift to cater for raw and cooked food. There's no restriction for any type of food to operate in this building. So as long as you're dealing with food, we welcome you to purchase, we welcome you to buy. There's no need for you to additional of applying of license. All right. You also, this is a permanent food factory, so you don't need to every 3 years to go and renew your license for as a food factory. All right. There are some that are temporarily food licensing. So that's where they every 3 years they need to do a renewal of their license for that building, okay, or for that unit. Ours is permanent. All right, and the the width of the driveway, as I mentioned just now, level 1 is about 11 to 12, level 2 is 9, level 10 is 7 meter itself, because of we cater to the different types of container trucks and lorries onto different levels. And of course, we have scissor sleeve provided on the loading bay platform. So we have 2 number of them to flush with the 40-footer container. Okay. And first story accessed by 40-footer containers, second to fourth accessed by 20-footer container, and 5th to 10 is the 7.5 meter, as I mentioned to you, the rigid frame. So this is one, everything is there. So all these vehicles are able to park outside your unit. Okay. First story is a 40-footer, second and fourth is the 20-footer, and 5th and 10 is the 7.5 rigid frame itself. So is there a height barrier? Yes, first to fourth floor will be 4.5 meter height limit. Okay, 5th to 10 will be 3.3. So your normal lorry with a fridge one, the refrigerator, the small one, class 3 one is able to go up as well. All right, so no issue. The parking system is by ERP. And it's accessible 24 hours because it's your own unit. All right, the ventilation is mechanical ventilation, and of course we are green and energy efficient feature that this eco-friendliness, all this is not available in our building, so we don't have all this eco-friendly and green and energy efficient feature. Okay, so disposable basically for beam point, first story, individual unit are small for the smaller waste, right? So you can see that the dedicated waste disposal, second to 10 story, you have your own small one, but the big one is on the bottom. Reference tube is 500 mm by 500 mm, and we have floor trap drainage system all provided, so don't have to worry as well. Grease trap allocation in the unit also, so you just have to pull your own grease trap. Key exhaust start also provided, so you just have to pull your own key exhaust where your kitchen will be. Okay. Adjoining able to knock. All right. So if you one is not enough for you, 1,008, you need 3,006 or 6,000 plus. Please come to us. The walls are able to knock down adjoining walls so that you're able to have a bigger area to purchase and a bigger area for you to use on your own. So as I mentioned again, we are using LPG gas. And level 1, we are selling with void area, which is the airspace. So you are able to do your decking out for storage. Level 2 to 10, there's no airspace. All right. So this is also one of the plus point. If you don't need the airspace itself, this development, we have units that don't have airspace for you to purchase. All right. The toilet is located, individual have their own toilet itself. And of course, the exterior, we have this wheelchair toilet as well, the handicap toilet, sorry. All right, for the public to use. And if the this one, in terms of the mechanical ventilation fan, what is the cubic flow is to be confirmed. So definitely is able to install cold room. Okay, so waterproofing all done on the production area, be it the toilet, the bin room, where you need to wash your floor, all has been done for all the necessary protection. So you don't have to incur additional more costs. All right, window all will be tinted glass, and in terms of the height of wall, floor to glass window is about 900 mm to about 1.1 meter. All right, so it's approximate about that. All right, so whether is there a height window at the mezzanine floor where you're able to slide open and see the production area? Yes. Or there's a window that is provided at the mezzanine unit for the 5 unit with the mezzanine. Okay, so dimension roller shutter is there as well, 4.5 by 4.5. On top will be slightly smaller, 3 to 4.5 by 3.6 height itself. Okay, so the first to 4 is 4.5 meter by 4.5. On top will be slightly different. Monthly maintenance we don't know yet, so there's no until then we will keep you updated. All right. Now the most important, whether are you buying at the correct pricing? So recently there's one food factory that is very near us that fully sold. We call the food fat pricing. You can see that their transaction price is approximately 1,008 PSF to about 2,000 PSF. This is also a freehold development. As I mentioned, that one only about less than 50 units. And of course, if you were to ask me what will be our pricing, I can only give you an estimated. We are trying to get developer to probably go at a price of about 1,005 average PSF. So if the developer were to accept our proposal of 1,005, then it's really a good buy. All right, if you were to compare to food fat, which are selling at 1,008, the last was selling at 1,008, 2,000 for the new sale itself. Okay, so this is the end of my presentation. I